Zannad. I'm the Strategic Planning Director at Burnett. The subject of my presentation is on the branding and communication challenges facing telecom operators entering into the business of TV, entertainment, and content. So, I will be addressing telecom operators, but I will not be talking about the different technical platforms telecom operators may be able to deploy, be it IPTV, OTT, Web TV, or any other platform. I will be strictly talking about the branding and communication mindset, the branding and communication strategy and tactics telecom operators will be needing to effectively compete in the business of TV and entertainment. I will start with a quick introduction on Burnett. And here I can briefly tell you that Burnett is an advertising agency. However, what we do at Burnett goes beyond advertising. You see, at the core of everything we do at Burnett lies the belief that any business issue, regardless of how complex it is, it boils down to two things: people and their behavior. And it's only when you truly understand people and their behavior will you be able to identify the role you want your brand to play in people's lives. This is when you're able to identify what we refer to as the purpose of your brand purpose. And the challenge here will be to bring this brand purpose to life. And you might be able to bring your brand purpose to life through ads, through advertisements. However, we strongly believe that the best approach to bring a brand purpose to life is through acts, not ads, but acts. Acts as in human-centered brand ideas and brand experiences that get people to not only passively listen to what your brand has to say, but gets people to participate with your brand. So in brief, what we do at Burnett is all about people, purpose, and bringing this purpose to life through humankind acts. Thus, we're not only an advertising agency, but we are a humankind communications company. Moving back to the subject of the presentation, telecom operators entering into the business of TV and entertainment. I think we can all agree that this should represent a major transition. In a way, telecom operators are now moving from connectivity providers to enrichers and enhancers of people's lifestyles. And such a major transition should have major implications on the way branding and communication is being approached. You see, not any brand and not any communication platform can be extended to lifestyle. And here I'm drawing the example of a brand like Apple and a brand like Microsoft. We have seen how Apple as a brand has been successfully extended to lifestyle. However, there are major doubts if a brand like Microsoft can be extended to lifestyle. And the question we will ask ourselves here is, do you want to be a PC or do you want to be a Mac? So what are those branding and communication implications? What are those challenges? Today I will be discussing two major branding and communication challenges that will be facing telecom operators. The first challenge is evolving from consumers and connectivity to people and lifestyle enrichment. And here I will be discussing why they need to evolve and how to evolve. The second challenge will be building brands with a human purpose. Moving to the first challenge, evolving from consumers and connectivity to people and lifestyle enrichment. According to Alan Moore, the originator of the concept of engagement marketing and engagement communications, Alan Moore said that people precede technology because any technology is a human creation, and the success of any technology depends on its ability to meet and satisfy fundamental human needs. And the key word here is human, as people, not consumers, not customers, but buyers, or not buyers. And the same should apply to a technology like IPTV. Why is that? Because with the launch of IPTV, telecom operators are moving from a market-driven strategy to a market-driving strategy. What does that mean? It means that instead of launching incremental innovations, which are enhancements on existing products, like a faster internet connection, telecom operators are launching breakthrough innovations. Instead of launching new products, telecom operators are entering into an entirely new category. Instead of aiming to delight existing customers, telecom operators are creating new customers, new consumers who should become believers in the brand. Instead of aiming to satisfy existing express customer needs, telecom operators are creating new needs and new aspirations. So, we cannot talk to our target as consumers or customers or buyers because they are still not in the consumer state of mind. We need to talk to them as people. An example on the comparison between a market-driven strategy and a market-driving strategy will be the car stereo system and the iPod. We have all seen all the incremental innovations that were done on the car stereo system. And these were done based on listening to existing expressed customer needs. However, if we look at the iPod as a breakthrough innovation, we'll see that the iPod created new needs, created new aspirations, and the iPod has impacted people and their life and their lifestyles. The same will apply to the automobile. I mean, had Henry Ford listened to existing customer needs, Henry Ford would have been looking for a faster breed of horses. So, if we look at IP&TV through a human lens, we will realize that IP&TV is not just internet, is not just TV through the internet protocol. Just the same way the automobile was not just a faster transportation tool. We will realize that IP&TV as a breakthrough innovation is not aiming to satisfy existing expressed customer needs. IP&TV should be targeting people with the aim of enriching, enhancing, and improving their lives. An example on looking at innovations through a human lens will be the Steve Jobs way of communicating Apple's innovations. You see, recently the co-founder of the co-founder of Apple, Steve Wozniak, had raised major concerns about the future of Apple in the post-Steve Jobs era. And these concerns were based on the fact that Apple, in a recent product demo for the iPhone 4S, have talked about technical things, like the dual-core processor. And according to Wozniak, had this been Steve Jobs would have talked about more human things, like how this will help people get their answers, how this will help people connect to the internet, how this will help people get a better customer experience. So, being human and evolving from consumers to people has also been the Steve Jobs way of communicating innovations. So now that we know why they need to evolve from consumers to people, we're going to talk about how to evolve. And for starters, I can tell you that it is only by attempting to understand people, not as consumers, customers, or buyers. And here, we need to point out that people make any purchase decision based on two sets of factors. The first set of factors is the personal and psychological factors, and the second set of factors is the social and cultural factors. So, if on a personal level, I am someone who is safety conscious, who is leading a stable lifestyle, I would be buying a Volvo, and this purchase decision will be based on personal factors. However, if on a social level, I am someone who belongs to a certain social group, or someone who wants to belong to a certain group, and this group is a distinctive group of individuals who are trendy, cool, and fashionable, I might be buying an Alfa Romeo, and this decision will be based on social factors. So, how do we understand these factors? Starting with the personal factors. How do we understand the personal factors? And for starters, I can tell you that it is definitely not through the traditional consumer behavior tools and the traditional consumer research tools. You see, the Journal of Marketing, the Journal of Marketing Research, and the Journal of Consumer Research have all published 6,400 papers, and only 60 among these papers have referred to personality. Apparently, the science of consumer behavior and the science of consumer research has little interest in understanding people as people and their personalities and the personal factors that make them tick. They're only interested in understanding them as consumers, customers, buyers, and numbers. So how do we understand it? There are a lot of tools that I can discuss in details. However, for now, I can tell you that it is only by genuinely attempting to understand the tensions, the needs, the aspirations, the fears, the dreams, and the anxieties of people that intersect with the brand. Moving to the social factors. How do we understand those social factors? It is by understanding people's social neighborhood, their social circles, their social groups, and the role they play in it. Whether they are influencing those around them or are they being influenced by those around them. Their connections, how many connections do they have, and the way people around them affect them. In today's networked world, with all the advancements in communication and all the social networking that is taking place, the understanding of those social factors will become a key source for competitive advantage. Research shows that 64% of people would buy something recommended by a friend. The understanding and the knowledge gained from those social factors is now being referred to as the social marketing intelligence. And some scholars and consultants have gone to the extreme of calling the social marketing intelligence the black gold of the 21st century. So, how do we attain this social marketing intelligence? How do we attain the black gold of the 21st century? We can all agree that social networks should be a good source for social marketing intelligence. So which social network is it? Which social network is the world's most active social network? Which social network has the richest amount of data on people's social behavior? Is it Facebook? Is it Twitter? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Google+? Well, it's none of these. The mobile network is the world's most active social network. Your mobile network has the richest amount of data on people's social behavior. And not only this, a lot of case studies and a lot of evidence has shown that the social marketing intelligence, the social behavior gained from people's mobile usage behavior is a lot more relevant to their real social behavior. So, for example, I might have 900 friends on Facebook. However, in real life, the real social me has 5 friends that I call and they call me back. Not only this, it has been proven that the data captured from mobile is 90% accurate, while the data captured from the internet is only 10% accurate. So, how do we utilize the mobile network to gain social marketing intelligence? Social intelligence analysts have developed a lot of algorithms, and they are able to tap into the mobile network, analyze people's mobile usage behavior, be it their calling behavior or their messaging behavior, and they can get all the social marketing intelligence required. They can get you the black gold of the 21st century. And the visual we see here is just an illustration of what social intelligence analysts are capable of doing. Here we see how they can categorize people's social roles based on their mobile usage behavior. We see the hubs, who are those with a lot of strong connections, the bridges, who are those who can connect different hubs together, those who connect different social groups together, the outliers and the loners. So to conclude on the first challenge, there is a need for telecom operators to evolve in their mindset from talking to consumers and attempting to connect them to talking to people and attempting to enhance and enrich their lifestyles. Why? Because a technology like IP&TV is a breakthrough technology, and people are not in a consumer's state of mind, so we need to talk to them as people. How do we do this? Is by attempting to understand people as people, their personal factors and their social factors. And the recommendation here is to utilize the mobile network to gain this social marketing intelligence, because social marketing intelligence will be a competitive advantage for telecom operators when competing with other brands like Apple TV and other brands. And now we move to the second challenge, building a brand with a human purpose. So, now that we truly understand people and their behavior, it's time to identify the role we want our brand to play in their lives. Again, it all boils down to people and their behavior. And the question we need to ask ourselves here is, what is the tension between how people are living their lives and how it could be better? And here we move to the purpose. What does our brand believe in? What is our brand conviction? And what is the reason for our brand's existence? And what are we going to do about it? What are we doing about it? And by doing, I'm not talking ads, I'm not talking advertisements. I'm talking about acts, human-centered brand ideas and brand experiences that get people to not only passively listen to what your brand is saying, but gets people to participate with your brand. Today, we're living in the people's era. With all the user-generated content, you cannot afford to have a one-way monologue with people. You need people to participate with your brand. You need a dialogue. And this is the only way you can reach to brand populism. You can get your brand populated by the people. And now we're going to take a look at a couple of examples on brands with a human purpose. The first one is the Nintendo Wii. You see, Nintendo identified a certain behavior because people, with all the communication and connectivity technologies that is happening, what's happening with people is that people are connecting more than ever. However, there is a frustration, there is a tension. And it's the digital distance that is growing between people. And based on this, we created the brand purpose. And it is, we believe in the universal need for smiles shared in the here and now. And as we all know, each and every act done by we as a brand is based on this brand purpose. Another example is T-Mobile. The behavior, the tension that T-Mobile identified was the fact that people like to share their joys, their enjoyments, their memorable moments. However, the busy lifestyle that they are leading does not allow them to share enough. So the purpose of T-Mobile's brand was that they believe that life is for sharing. And I think we have all seen all the flash mob that T-Mobile did. And each and every act done by T-Mobile as a brand stands for the purpose, which is life is for sharing. So, when telecom operators are entering into the business of TV and entertainment, they need to redefine their brand category. And this needs to be done through a human lens. And here, we're going to look at a couple of brands that we redefine the category they're in through the humankind approach. The first one is Special K. Now, the obvious category, the obvious brand category for Special K would be cereal. However, looking at Special K through a human lens, the category will be shape management. And each and every act done by Special K will be based on the fact that they are in the shape management category. The same applies for Lavage Kiri. It could be cheese, however, it's about spreading cheerfulness. Canon, it could be photography, however, it's inspiring creativity. And based on this, I will leave you with a question. If telecom operators are able to truly offer what is referred to as the 4 A's proposition, which is content accessible anytime, anywhere, by anyone. In other words, the multi-screen strategy. So if people are able to access their favorite content anytime, anywhere, through any device, if we are offering this to people, what is the role we want our brand to play in their lives? And how are we impacting their life, and how are we changing their behavior? Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmad. That's a really interesting take on the challenges faced, and really valuable to get a slightly different perspective. I mean, typically, talk to telecoms operators, think that their proposition is around price and bundles and minutes and texts and so on. But you've identified, and to be fair, T-Mobile is one of the examples of actually identifying the human needs that the product meets. And now telecoms operators are getting into the TV space. So the challenge of promoting content. The traditional theory is that you spend your money on content and people will come and see you. From your perspective, that's not enough, is it? It's about identifying human needs beyond that. So it's not just about great content or price points, it's about human needs. So I know that you've left us with this question. What are your thoughts on an IPTV service from a telecoms operator? Could you just start to think how you might approach that, from what human needs would be met?
Well, in a way, in branding, people do not buy what you do, but why you do it for. And if we identify the role the telecom operator